got my tits cut off 60% for the gender affirmation and 40% so that when I go back to work, all my coworkers will notice that I've clearly had my tits cut off but won't be able to ask about it because what are they gonna say? Where's your tits? They might. Like, it really kind of depends on how close you are to your coworkers. Because then they might say something like, oh, how'd the tit removal go? I see you are very titless now. What happened there? Because I feel like, well, actually, if you would be that close, they would probably already know about it beforehand, wouldn't they? But still, I can imagine, like, the looks on people's faces when you've just, like, randomly been off for, like, 2 or 3 weeks. And then you come back and they're just like, hi, long time no see. Hello, BabyQueers, and welcome back to my channel. Guess what? We're doing queer memes again, which is probably also going to include a lot of text posts again. But you know, I still have so many saved on my phone, and I just want to keep doing them out of spite, really, because people seem to care a lot that people are queer, you know? So that's what we're doing today. But you know the deal, before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. Y'all, apparently some angry modder made a mod to remove pronouns from Starfield. Except, they only removed he, him, and she, her, making anyone who downloaded it default to they, them. Whoops. This is a prime example of it backfiring, of people not understanding what pronouns are and that everyone uses pronouns. Like, how did you even not think about this? Because you use pronouns every day. You talk about people with he, him, and she, her pronouns all day, every day. You talk about your mom, or your dad, or your siblings, or your friends, or your coworkers. Literally, you don't say every time, oh, Sarah did this, Sarah did this. You say, oh, Sarah was at work today. She did some really weird things in the office, you know, things like that. How did you... It astounds me that people don't think for like 2 seconds, because I can't imagine that creating a mod like this is done that quickly that you wouldn't have time to think about what you're doing. But no, all you were thinking is, oh, I hate trans people, I need to mod everyone into gender neutral, I guess. Why you became lesbian? I was bitten by a lesbian one night under a full moon, and now I am cursed to sleep with women for the rest of my days. Oh no, how tragic of a curse. That is so sad. Oh, it's so sad that no one will be able to break this curse for you. You know, I think we all feel for you, you know. Meeting my past selves. 20-year-old, you're me? What happened? 13-year-old self, no, this isn't what God had planned for your life. 5-year-old self, I'm gonna be pretty. Inner child pulling through. Before all the learned gender performance and internalized transphobia is a sincere kid who sees the beauty in themselves and others without judgment. I strive to be that person again, but while it's easier to love and empathize with my inner 5-year-old self, someday I hope I'll be able to hug my inner 13-year-old self too. They were doing their best with the narrow view of love they had been shown. I now know better. Literally, I feel like this is probably fairly accurate to how a lot of past versions of, like, a lot of us would react as a teenager, like, especially a lot of people letting their religious trauma show a lot right now. I was never that religious, but I feel like I would be like, I think my 13-year-old self would probably be more confused than this offended. They would probably be confused for a second and then recognize it makes sense, because 13-year-old me would say, oh, I wish I was a boy so I could, like, confuse people better with their gender, because if a girl wears, like, pants or a suit, it's not that special, but if a boy even wears nail polish, then everyone suddenly loses their shit. And I thought it was so funny, and I, to be fair, still think it's incredibly funny when people get so pressed about what other people do. So I feel like 13-year-old me would not react like this, but I know a lot of 13-year-olds who would have reacted like this. Because I know how 13-year-olds sometimes react to any kind of queer person, you know, so you'll get there, because literally even 30-year-olds, like, they're starting to, like, form their own opinions and worldviews, but most of it is probably still very heavily influenced by their parents, or, like, the situation, or, like, the church, or whatever they grew up in, and if a certain thing is taught in that environment, then yeah, they're probably very likely to not move past that yet, you know? Teenage Jodie Foster being asked about boys. Jodie Foster is a lesbian, just look at this face. Do you have a steady boyfriend? No. What kind of fella would you like? One that's a girl? You know, like, I don't have much of a type, but a girl type of fella. You know, like, she do. Like, a lot of teenagers maybe either don't know or haven't, like, accepted it about themselves. This is the face of someone who knows, and is very amused by people not thinking about the fact that not everyone's straight. Really. This face is legendary, actually. My absolutely perfect 5-year-old cousin. Cousin, you're all invited to the wedding. Aunt, who's getting married then? Cousin, playing with dolls. Harry and Jack. They can't get married, dear. Why not? Because 2 men can't marry, it's wrong. Says who? Says God. Well, I'm going to worship Satan, so that my cute little dolls, Harry and Jack, can have the weddings of their dream. What are you talking about? Because A, God doesn't say this. You say it. A lot of Christians say it. A lot of religions and a lot of religious people say it. But that doesn't mean you're right. And that doesn't mean this cousin has to care. But yeah, I feel like Satan is going to be more accepting of this union. You know, like, I know a lot of religious people are still chill and actually kind of do follow the, oh, love thy neighbor, you know, but Satan's just gonna be chill, just like, listen, we have more important things to worry about, so sure, go marry each other, you know. So yeah, I feel like this made perfect sense to a 5-year-old, but it also makes just perfect sense if you're older than 5 years old, you know? My girlfriend and I are such useless lesbians. Before we dated, I tried to hold her hand, and she shook it. And then it happened again 2 minutes later. Our first kiss, and mine in general, was in a Target. A long story. But I had to pull away because I almost fell to the floor in shock. Another time she went in to kiss me, and I gave her a hug. We were really trying our goddamn hardest, but we're freaking disastrous. She shook your hand. She shook it. Yeah, like, how, what? I can only imagine that being awkward, because, you know, when you give someone your right hand to shake, they're also going to shake it with their right hand. So if you're grabbing their left hand with your right hand, isn't it just, wouldn't it be more awkward to shake it? I mean, generally the act of shaking it when someone tries to hold your hand is already goddamn awkward. You somehow managed. I feel like if you weren't such disasters, it might have happened a little bit quicker. But this is infinitely funnier. So now when people, like, ask how you got together, you can just start laughing because you were freaking disastrous, and it's somehow really cute, but because it's so funny, actually. Hi, you don't know me, but my name is this. We're moving away today, but I wanted to thank you. Seeing a pride flag waving so proudly outside of your house every day has given me courage to come out to my family and be more comfortable with who I am. With the cutest little drawing. But this is why representation is important, and that's why a lot of people make being gay their personality and have, like, flags or have, like, t-shirts or shirts or whatever that clearly show they're queer, or have, like, stickers on their cars. It's not because they're trying to make it their whole personality, it's just for this, really. I mean, A, to find other queer people to hang out with, really, but also mainly to show other people that you're a safe person, and especially to show younger queer kids who either don't feel ready to come out or who know they can't come out to their family, to show them that they're not alone and that it will be okay eventually. That's why we do this. That's why I have a flag. I mean, I'm not sure how visible it is from outside. It probably isn't from the street, you know, but still, I'm not going to take this down. It's just gonna stay here. You know, and in my old apartment, I actually literally had it in my window. Because why not? Some spins on the mostly male team with the token woman trope. The woman is trans and stayed in her old circle of bros, even after transition. The woman is the only one in her circle of girls who didn't turn out to be a trans man. Everyone is bigender, they take turns being the one woman. Like clownfish. It started off as a group of girls with one token guy, they all turned out to be trans. And literally all of these are better than the, oh, I grew up with older brothers and that's why I'm more comfortable around men, because women are too much drama. Literally all of these are just better. And I feel like just accurate. Right? Like, it seems more accurate that any of these would happen. Maybe not the clownfish one, although that would probably kind of be the funniest. But I feel like all of these seem a little bit more realistic in my head, somehow. The girl who sits next to me in English keeps inviting me over to study, but we just end up watching movies, and she wrote "love you" on my annotation of a poem, and she wants to take me to a vegan cafe. How do I ask her if she's gay? Anon, I'm going to kill you. Are you the same person that shook the other person's hand and then ended up almost falling over after a kiss in Target? Because this is giving those exact disaster vibes. Just no. No. Listen, if someone else were to tell you this about a person they're interested in, you would want to slap them too. Because it's so obvious. And I know it's always like more obvious with other people because you're in that situation. You're just like, well, maybe I'm reading into it because I like her, but type it out. Imagine two people being like this in a movie or something you're watching. And how obvious it seems. Please, this is... No. I really hope y'all figure it out, or I hope that she was having a little bit of a clue because you apparently don't, and just, I hope one of you has a clue, or finds a clue, because what are you doing? Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Okay, well, that's embarrassing, I have the wrong number. But you're kinda cute though, do you like girls by any chance? Useless lesbians, please take notes. I mean, I know it's like easier over chat, and especially if you don't know this person, like you have literally nothing to lose. Does this person have a septum ring? I feel like if this second person sends me a selfie, I am stereotyping here probably, but I'm getting gay vibes, so it's fair to just ask, you know, but at least you asked. And I know it's easier with a stranger that you never met just because you accidentally texted a wrong number, but you know, I feel like this might have been fate. Relaxed straight. Okay, these jeans and I could not have anything less in common. Stressed bisexual. Now these are the pants for me. I feel like these would be my pants. I'm not actually bisexual, but I feel like these would be way more fitting than relaxed or straight. Because just no to both of that, actually. Let bisexual girls love boys. What? Let bisexual girls love boys. Who's stopping them? Lesbians who say they'll never date a girl that has touched a man. People that say bi girls will cheat just because they're bi. There's so much biphobia not only with straight people, but in the gay community. My lesbian friends who told me they were high-key disappointed when I started dating a cishet boy. My ex-girlfriend who asked me, wait, weren't you gay? And then when I explained I was bi, went, ew lol. The whole gold star lesbian bullshit. Can we face the biphobia in the LGBT community and stop shoving it under the rug? Lol. Yeah, really. Everyone. Like, straight men will just, like, fetishize the shit out of bi women. And just be like, ah, that's so hot, I want to watch. You know, that whole spiel, really. And then lesbians. Because literally, why does it matter? Why does it matter who this person is attracted to? If they're also attracted to you and want to date you, what does it matter who they, like, have done anything or something with in the past? Like, what does it matter? Why? Why does it matter? Wouldn't you? I mean, if you're confident in your own abilities, you don't need the other person to already, like, be disappointed by their past partners, but it's giving... I don't know, it's just weird. The whole thing is just weird. Like, why do you care so much? Asexual sirens getting real freaking pissed about all these sailors interrupting their choir rehearsal. Sirens are already asexual, they don't have sex with the men, they just kill them. Yeah, well, it's no wonder they kill them, they keep interrupting choir rehearsal. The asexual mermaid's being really pleased when an asexual sailor begins singing baritone counterpoint. Now that's appropriate. Just crashing the choir rehearsal again and again because you're horny. Rude. Just rude and inappropriate. Let these people rehearse. They just want to, like, have fun and sing together, but then y'all keep crashing your ship into them. What are you doing? But to be fair, this seems just very accurate to women, or people being read as women, just trying to exist and going about their lives. And men, again, having less of a clue than a useless lesbian and just... But, like, in the wrong direction. Like, useless lesbians can't get a clue when someone is actually interested in them. Straight men take anything as interest in them when it's really just not there at all. Because they either don't know or they just really don't care that you're not interested. Both of which isn't great. My brother came to me and said, what would you do if I was bisexual? And I said, I'd laugh, because that means our homophobic parents had 2 queer kids. And that's the story of me and my brother came out to each other. I'm glad you have each other, though. Because I know people say, oh, they wish, like, homophobic or transphobic people a queer kid, so that they'll hopefully learn. And while some previously, like, homophobic or transphobic people actually... Like, that's the thing that prompts them to stop being an ignorant piece of shit, really. As much as I would, like, wish people to learn and grow, I don't wish it on the queer kids. So I'm really glad you at least have each other to keep each other sane through this, because dealing with homophobic parents as a queer kid is nowhere near fun. You know, so I'm glad you have each other. If your child doesn't come out until they're moved out and have a strong non-family support system, they didn't just become trans, you ding-dong. They just become safe from you, and I hope you feel every bit of what that means. Yeah, literally, if someone goes to college and then it's the college that brainwashed them with their liberal bullshit, guess what? No, it isn't. They just knew you were gonna be like this and didn't want to deal with it or didn't have the capacity to deal with it. Or they were literally just brainwashed by you because you kept telling them since they were born, basically, that being queer is wrong and that they have to, like, you know, stick to their gender roles that they were assigned and bullshit like that. You know, it's one of those two. And in neither situation do you look like a good parent. Whenever a girl compliments me, I'm like, is this a normal compliment or a gay compliment? I need to know. I feel like it's very difficult to say because, like, take the, oh, I love your outfit, is kind of a gay compliment of, oh, I like your style, wink, because you look gay, you know, and I like that because I'm gay. That's kind of the cliche, but that doesn't mean that every time someone compliments you on your outfit, it's actually that. It might just be, oh, I really like your outfit. You know, where did you buy it? I also want this outfit. Like, this is really my style of clothing. And it's kind of difficult to say unless you're in that situation. In which case it helps to have queer friends who observe you in that situation, because again, it's like easier to tell from the outside if you're not in that situation. You know, 16 trans agendas for the modern queer. 1. Live to old age. 2. Enjoy a nice snack. 3. Cuddle up with my cat. 4. Demand good healthcare. 5. Create a chosen family. 6. Soak in queer community. 7. Reject any need for cis approval. 8. Respect pronouns. 9. Breathe deep breaths. 10. Admire surgical scars. 11. Be kind. 12. Tell my friends that I love them. 13. Be endlessly creative. 14. Tea for tea. 15. Watch the sunrise. 16. Persists. I feel like not just for modern queers, this is just fair. Like, some of these, or a lot of these, you can maybe do if you're not even trans. You know, like enjoying the sunrise or persisting. Generally very important for queer people and generally for marginalized people. You know, so if you're not trans, you can still take some of these and put them on your own agenda for your life, really. But yeah, this is the evil trans agenda that people keep talking about, apparently. My psychology professor would be like, I don't believe in non-binary genders, and 5 minutes later refers to me as he, then she, then just by my name, because it becomes increasingly clear that neither of those are correct, even though I am not out in his class. Doctor, redacted, I don't believe in non-binary genders. Doctor, redacted, except for that figure, I have no idea what they've got going on. This is kind of just goals for non-binary people, or a lot of non-binary people, to just be confusing. Because a lot of time, people will try to gender you any which way, but then recognize that it doesn't make sense. Like, from, like, further away, if, like, freshly shaved, people will look at me and be like, oh yeah, that's a girl, and then I open my mouth, and then it's like, nope, something's not adding up, wait a second, what are you talking about, and where did your tits go? Like, don't you have them? You know, kind of, that's kind of the ultimate goal, really, for a lot of non-binary people, and I'm kind of hoping your professor recognizes it and is like, well, listen, maybe it's not just this one student who's really confusing to me, maybe people can experience gender differently than me, you know? I wish lesbians were as easy to find in real life as they are on Tumblr. 11 freaking thousand notes, are you kidding me? Where are you all? Come date me. Okay. Update, we're dating. Oh, another update, we're married now. Update, we got knocked up. Update, we had a baby together. I love that you just came back to this one shitpost that you just like made because you got mad that you don't have a girlfriend in real life. And you just like kept coming back to it to add updates. This is really sweet and just kind of funny because again, when people ask you, oh, how did you two meet? It's like, well, I made a shit post about being a lonely lesbian on Tumblr and now I have a wife and a baby. You know, so it escalated a bit. In the best way possible. Me, yeah, I dated a guy in high school who came out as gay. It was before I knew I was a boy, so needless to say, it didn't work out. Coworker, damn, dude was pre-ordering. Other things this coworker, who is a cis guy, has done or said. Got confused about why I'd never been a Boy Scout, because he forgot I was trans. Told me he was gonna get top surgery scars tattoo to match me after I get mine. Laughs at all my trans jokes, even if they're supremely unfunny. Calls me big dog and him little dog, even though he's about as tall as two of me. I can't believe she would say that transphobic thing to you in June, in Pride Month. Once I said my gender is whatever's funniest at the time, and my coworker stops dead in his tracks, turns slowly, and says, "So, are your pronouns honk honk?" Killing me instantly. This is literally the best type of supportive person. Because we love all supportive people, don't get me wrong. Like, someone just like being chill and respecting your pronouns and, you know, being a nice person. Great, we love it. You don't need to do more than that. But it is funnier if you do more than that, like this guy. You know, you can be supportive, and it's great, I would be thankful, or you can be supportive, which is just funny. This is how you make jokes about trans people, by the way, like this last one, without being a dickhead. If you didn't know. That's all the memes we've got to go through today. If you want to know, we are still in October 23. My next video might be something different, but it might just be queer memes again, depending on my mood that day, probably. So, you know, be warned. This channel will continue to be supremely gay. Because why not? You know? But anyways, that's all we're gonna go through today. I hope you enjoyed the memes. I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe go drink something now. And I'll be back in a few days with my next video.